If you've checked into the hotel non-dormant within the past 10 years, I probably watched you. I like to watch. The details of how I got here are unclear. I used to work as a photographer, the kind that jilted housewives hire out to catch their husbands cheating. My last client, a woman who talked fast and chain-smoked even faster, employed me to catch her husband in the act with his girlfriend at the Hotel non-dormant. Her hair was built up so tall with hairspray that I worried that it'd ignite each time she'd lit up a cigarette. I started to tell her I'd never heard of the hotel, and while that was true, I was suddenly overcome with the realization that I'd always known about it. Even been there myself as memory quickly resurfaced. I sat on my grandfather's lap in a room there while my grandmother got ready to go to the theater that one time they visited. I could remember receiving a drink at the bar years later from a fellow who appeared somewhat menacing in a medical mask. I didn't even have to tell him what I wanted. He just knew. Anyway, I took the job, agreed to catch her man doing the dirty with some other lady. I checked into 101 on the first floor while they were all the way up at the top. I discreetly snapped photos of them hanging all over each other at the bar, but never heard back from the wife. The lovers checked in again a few weeks later, and never checked out. I punched a small hole out of their wall and found them bludgeoned to death in the bed. The man's eyes were gouged out, lying on the pillow beside him. It was then that I developed something of an obsession with watching. I don't just like to watch, I have to watch. And what better place to watch than a hotel? Over my extended stay here, I've created a notable amount of looking holes, openings so small that they are barely noticeable to the naked eye. But I know where each one is, carefully hidden, looking into bathrooms and bedrooms, even some on the 7th floor. I don't visit those ones anymore. I know what you're about to say. Yeah, sure, I'm a creep, whatever. It's technically true that I am a voyeur, and yes, I am looking for people fucking, but it's not the physical aspect that I'm really interested in. I mean, sure, I don't mind the visual of two people really going at it, but I'm really looking to see their closeness. I want to feel the intimacy between them. Really get in there, feel that skin-to-skin contact with other people, even if from a distance. People find me strange, intense, off-putting, so I don't get much into the way of physical contact. And that's why I like it up here so much. People come up to hotels to fuck. Sometimes I stay up for days at a time, subsisting almost entirely on an alternating mix of uppers and downers, just watching. There's so much to see here. I've been up for 2 or 3 days now, watching the halls, dragging my open palms across the walls, feeling the energy of the people inside. Pure ecstasy. Visiting my looking holes, barely larger than pinpoints, yet granting me full access into the intimate lives of strangers. Back in my room, a nearby door slams shut. New guests checking in next door, just my luck. No time for that scheduled nap. I pop a blue pill in my mouth and I chew it to a mushy pulp. My mouth dry, I wash it down with some stale whiskey. Moving silently towards the wall between myself and the unsuspecting visitors, I gingerly remove the generic framed art to reveal my looking hole. I press my right eye against it, closing the left to get more focused view. Just one visitor, a woman. I lick the gritty pill remnants from my grimy teeth, tongue like sandpaper. The woman reclines on the bed, blissfully unaware of the residue of sin's past staining the bed sheets. She looks fucked up. Probably had too much to drink downstairs. She pulls a baggie of pills out from her purse. Looks like she came to party. I urge my body into the wall as she places a tablet in her mouth, takes a swig of water, and cocks her head back to swallow. She repeats the process with another one. Another one. And another one. One after another. She's not here to party. She's here to die. The scene's so dismal that I almost want to stop. Scream out for her to quit. But I don't. See, because this is the closest I've ever felt to someone, the most intimate moment one could experience with another. The moments leading up to death, I crush my body further into the wall, almost painful as I lean the entirety of my weight into the hard surface. I find myself wishing that I could fuse with the wall. If only I could squeeze my eye right through the hole. If only I could somehow get even closer. Her breathing eventually slows. It's clear that there's not much time left for her. The look of death is in her eye. Her gaze detached, directed far off into somewhere or something the living are not privy to until they meet their end. I sigh deeply, admiring the beauty of this peaceful end. Her acceptance of what is to come, her stare suddenly fixes upon my looking hole and the one through which I observe her. She stares through the wall, through me in her final moments, a loose gasp escaping her lips. Scrambling back from the wall, I rush to replace the picture frame, grappling with what I've seen. No, the fact that I was seen. I grab another blue pill instinctively, and a light orange one to mellow me out. I crush them both into a fine powder, dragging them into neat lines before sealing my left nostril with a pad of my thumb. I take them both in quick succession. My nose twitches, itching, but relief is immediate. Then I see the paint bubble on the wall next to me. Cautiously, I extend one hand to investigate, only to find that the protrusion is full of something. I lightly jab it with my index finger, recoiling instinctively as the bubble twitches, then parts horizontally down the center. I watch in abject horror as the protrudence opens to reveal an eyeball, glossy and all too real. Its massive pupils dilate in response to the yellow light of the room as it rolls around, adjusting until its focus finally lands on me. Blisters crop up slowly at first, then rapidly, unrelenting until the walls that surround me, trap me, are studded with the small projections. I tell myself to turn around and leave, to run, but I'm rooted in place, forced to watch as the bubbles crack open, all at once to reveal more of the same, more eyes of viscous fluid running from each aperture, dripping slowly down the walls, pooling into a brackish muck where they intersect the floor. Stomach turning, I double over to vomit, but nothing comes out. I can't remember the last time I've eaten anything that hasn't come out of the little orange bottle. I straighten my posture to find that all the eyes are fixated on me. They're watching me. These walls have eyes. They're staring down at me. They're staring right through me. The whiskey bottle on the end table. Actions mile ahead of thoughts. I seize it, smashing the glass on the edge of the table to produce a sharp surface. I shove it into the wall, puncturing several of the unearthly organs. A repulsive, thick fluid spatters across my arm, but the eyes, they pop and disappear, so I keep going, striking wildly, dragging the jagged glass across the wall to rupture entire rows at a time. My efforts are all in vain, though. The wall swells and bubbles to produce another eye behind each that I've destroyed. And there's nothing I can do. I can't focus. I can't think at all with all these eyes watching me. I fall into the bed. I curl into myself. Eyes screwed shut, hands placed firmly over my face for an extra measure of protection. A deafening crack briefly startles me from my panic. I remove my hands from my eyes to watch the ceiling. The ceiling splinters above me and opens to form a chasm. The abysmal pit above moves like a mouth, and it simply orders, "Do it." Desperate now for some sense of relief, for any end to this, I blindly reach for the broken bottle. I don't even think, I just do it. I raise the bottle above my face, in shaking hands before jamming it into my eyes over and over and over again, wailing in pain until sight fades completely and my face is obliterated, until I am free from the oppressive, crushing stare around me. The sense of delirious euphoria overcomes me, but the pleasant feeling is fleeting because I know the eyes are still watching. I know this because of the sounds. Exaggerated, nauseatingly moist. I can hear them blinking. Hey there kids, it's me, Mrcreepypasta, and I just want to make sure that all of you guys are still staying safe and doing your best to stay inside and keep yourself quarantined if you can do so. For those of you who can't, really appreciate you guys doing what you have to do. So, all the best to all of you who are still working, and all the best to all of you who are forced to kind of stay home and are not able to work. If you guys are missing out on a lot of the conventions, which at this point, all of them that I was planning on going to this year with the exception of San Japan, looks like have been either canceled or pushed back. If you guys were looking forward to any of the conventions this year and are missing out on a lot of the artwork from some of your favorite authors or artists, take a look in the description down below. At least until the quarantine is over, you'll be able to find links to a bunch of my artist friends as well as authors in the description of every video. And of course, I will be bringing you guys stories every single day from now until the end of time, available here on YouTube as well as here on the podcast on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, and Google, and wherever else you can get podcasts. And now a very special thank you, big thank you, the biggest thank you I can possibly give to all of you who support on patreon.com/Mrcreepypasta, who help keep the lights on in my house. Patreons such as Jordan Alexander Sanchez, Ken Lando Higuchi, Brianna Van Tine-Janzen, Chompski, TheRedOakShieldVirus, Sindee Barney, G. Weevil 3, Diana Kraus, Stephen VanHuss, Tristain Pelton, Nico, TheGingerBroz, Dante Rowe, Raphael Rodriguez, Lastbladesong, Eliminator 86, Nebsky, SteampunkSinner, Kaleb Dougal, Daniel Poulsen, Sky Harbor, The Homeless Bird 93, Gabrielle Undefined, Barbie Carmen, Liam Newman, Aaron Stormcrow, Dr. Strawberry, Barbara Masio, Thomas Burgett, Azazel Rotten, Let's Get Scared, S-Man, Brandy Hasanori, and King DDD. Thank you guys so much for supporting on Patreon, as well as all of you that are shown in the description down below. And sweet dreams, everyone.